Welcome to Armstrong High School for Northwest Suburban Conference boys basketball, a key early matchup in the West Division. Park Center ranked number 2 in Class 4A here to take on the Falcons. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Ryan Iverson. Allie Mosley will join us from courtside as well. And Ryan, Park Center's gotten a lot of hype this year. They've played a lot of good teams already. Coming off a loss to Minneapolis Academy, a great team last week, and they're trying to right the ship a little, get back on track, but they're clearly one of the most talented teams in Minnesota.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're that talented too, a loss like that is a great thing for a coach because it makes you have their attention. You start reading your press clippings of how talented and how good you are. Remember, this team was this close to winning a state championship a year ago, so these kids are hungry. I think losing last week to another really good team in Minneapolis Academy has them back on track. I would expect a really big effort here tonight and going forward.
Armstrong's been really kind of an under-the-radar team. Their only loss was their first game of the year against Hopkins. They beat a very good Totino Grace team the other night. They haven't maybe played as tough a schedule as Park Center, so not a lot of people are talking about them, but their coach, John Bryant, said that's just the way we like it, being under the radar.
You know who they remind me of, Jay? Is their football team. Kind of the same way. They had a great football team. These kids are just tough, and they're winners, and we have a couple of football players playing basketball, so they're well coached. They're going to take on the personality of their head coach, and John Bryant, well, both of these coaches, James Ware, too, for Park Center, but these coaches were excellent players. They were tough players, and both teams are going to be extremely well coached. And I'll tell you what Armstrong does. They do the little things really well. They're not going to beat themselves. They're talented. They got some size, and they're going to have to come to play tonight because I think they are giving up some athleticism to Park Center.
Let's talk about key players to look at in tonight's game, starting with Park Center. And Joshua Brown was kind of a role player last year as a shooter off the bench, but now getting a lot more minutes, and he's been a pretty consistent performer for them.
And averaging 16 points a game, so just exploding with confidence. I remember doing their games last year. He'd come in and he might give you 9 points in 40 seconds with 3 quick threes. So you could tell the skill was there, and I think now it's just the confidence and having extended minutes. But I always think teams, when they have an inside-out presence, which obviously with Park Center, you got a very good inside presence, but if Joshua Brown can be consistent, make shots, and be that other scorer, that's really going to help Park Center go far this year.
And for Armstrong, a guy who is kind of a post player down low, a little bit of a crafty left-hander, Hezekiah Yahweh.
Well, I'll tell you, he's left-handed, so that always throws his defenders off a little bit. He's going to have to be big tonight. He's going to have to dominate the boards, and they're going to have to be able to go to him. He's got to be in that high teens to low 20s tonight scoring, I think, and he's got to anchor that defense. No transition against Park Center. He's going to have to sprint back and be that rim protector and also be an offensive threat in the paint, too. So they're going to need him to have a big game tonight.
All right, should be a good one here. The Pirates and the Falcons coming up next.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
And welcome back here as youth night here at Armstrong. You see some of the young guys getting introduced to the crowd as well here, along with getting ready for the starters. As we said, joining us from courtside once again tonight is Allie Mosley. Let's go to Allie.
Hey guys, a big change up tonight in Park Center's starting lineup. For the first time all season, they will be playing without Baylor commit Dane Danger. So tonight, in his place, will be junior center James Parker. Now he fills in with some good size at the position at 6'6", 285. Coach Ware says this is going to be a big test for him tonight though, because Armstrong has a lot of quickness and strength down at the post. So he really wants to see Parker step up his inside pressure both on offense and on defense. And Coach said, you know what, I'm just curious to see how my team plays without Dane. So there is one thing he knows. He needs every single player on the court for him to step up on rebounds if they want to get this win, guys.
Thanks, Allie, and obviously a big note for this game that Mr. Danger will not be playing, but I think especially at this time of year, you know, you get a chance to see what the other guys can do, what things look like, you know, maybe without your star player for a given night.
Well, and I think it also will make his teammates possibly appreciate what he brings to the table, not only offensively, but defensively. We all remember the name Joel Prisbilla. I got to play AAU basketball with him for 3 years, and it allowed me to gamble and go for steals because I knew I had that shot blocker behind there. So it's going to be a big test for Park Center because this is a hostile environment and a very good opponent.
Let's take a look at starting lineups. As you see Parker being introduced, here is a look at the lineup for Coach James Ware and the Pirates. David Ejadambola, Datavius Frierson, and Joshua Brown. And John Grigsby, the newcomer from Colorado this year, along with Parker getting the nod, as we said, at that center spot. And for Armstrong, they really have 3 veterans who have played a lot of ball for them, and then a couple others around them. Adam Bewin, Jake Breitbach, and Hezekiah Ayawe were regulars for them a year ago. And Ben-Hur Solomon, a senior, playing a lot along with Deshaun Larkins.
Well, I'll tell you, Jake Breitbach, you know, great quarterback, great season, you know, came back so quick and ready to go and healthy from his knee injury, and he's carried that success from football right over to basketball. Great athlete, tough guy, someone you want on your team too.
Breitbach hurt that actually in his knee in their playoff loss last year to Wayzata. As we see, Armstrong won at Park Center a year ago, the only team to beat the Pirates in the regular season. And I was at that game, and really what they did, first and foremost, they kept the pace of the game down, didn't allow Park Center to get layups, made them shoot outside shots. This year's Park Center team shoots the ball, though, I think a lot better than the team it did a year ago. So we'll see what happens here. Frierson controlling the opening tip to Ejadambola, and we are underway here from Armstrong.
Well, it's interesting you talk about the pace because you look at the numbers. The Pirates average 81 points per game and the Falcons 66. So I think if this game is in the high 50s to 60s, I think that favors Armstrong. And even without Dane Danger, this Park Center team very capable of scoring and getting that pace up and running.
And we're going to have a foul, an offensive foul, in fact, on the drive as Breitbach stepped in and drew the charge from Ejadambola.
Well, and that's what you have to do against really aggressive teams is take those charges, and you hope not only to get the other team in foul trouble, Jay, but you hope that maybe you limit their aggressiveness because of that. So heads-up play there to start the game.
And Larkins turns it over. Frierson attacking the other way, and he's got his feet tangled a little bit and missed the layup. Breitbach kicking it over. Solomon, a shot no good, and he eventually controlled by Brown. Brown, a jump stop into the lane. Ejadambola, the shot fake. Armstrong's not going to play zone, but they're going to be very conscious of helping on the drive.
Well, one thing early on, even in this possession, Jay, they're helping, but they're recovering quickly too. But that's the one guy you probably can't help off of. If you give Joshua Brown even an inch, he'll take it. You can see what a pure shot he is. He's one of those awareness guys where you do not help off of.
Parker gets the assignment on a Yahweh. Now Breitbach to the edge of the lane. Here's Bewin. Larkins lost the dribble there and turned it over. Kind of an unforced error there. Down low, tried to go to Parker, but weren't quite there on the timing with that one.
Yeah, and if you throw that ball, that's got to have a little bit more arc on it. It's got to land softly. That ball just a little too much juice on it. It goes out of bounds. Early on, you can tell Armstrong right now, everything around the perimeter, nothing getting to the basket. They've had three possessions. They got a three-point shot and 2 turnovers. So there's a nice curl and a nice attack.
Bwin able to get that one to go as he bumped into Parker a little bit there and went down, but he's able to stick with it. No foul call, but he gets the hoop, and it's 3-2 Pirates.
Well, it showed some good strength there too. That's not easy, getting hit by Parker and still being able to get that shot off. So very, very nice play, nice finish.
And that'll be an over and back violation as Grigsby started to cut and the pass went behind him. So a little bit of a sloppy start here. Breitbach has Frierson on him. That will be an interesting matchup. Frierson's very quick, athletic. A Yahweh
nice look
to the cutter. Score it for Breitbach.
Well, great cut by Breitbach, but a nice job by Yahweh that time. Watch him as he's driving. Look at where his head is. His eyes are up. That's a tough pass in traffic, but he leads Breitbach. Breitbach's used to throwing those kind of touchdown passes. That time he receives it and gets the foul, the contact, and a chance for a three-point play.
Foul call against Frierson, and Breitbach completes the three-point play, so a 5-3 lead now for the Falcons. Breitbach is defending Frierson as well, so a good matchup at both ends of the court. Pete Newber, number 1, is checked in for Armstrong already at guard spot there. Lanky sophomore. Frierson looking to attack. He'll go to Grigsby for the 3, and he knocks it down.
Well, again, good defense by Armstrong protecting the paint, but you talked about it earlier, Jay. I think the ability of this team to be able to knock down threes, and Grigsby, 6'9" senior. How about that ability to knock down a NBA range three-pointer? So a little bit different team this year. I think a much better shooting team than they've had in years past.
Breitbach into the teeth of the defense, had it blocked. Ijatambola to Frierson, right back, and Ijatambola the layup.
Great finish that time and a great pass by Frierson. That's, as a coach, you love those fast breaks where the ball doesn't touch the ground. Bam, 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 easy layup. That's how dangerous the Pirates are when they get in transition. So you got to limit turnovers, limit bad passes, limit steals when you're playing against them.
Yahweh looking to drive it past Parker. Didn't score, but he did draw the foul. And that is one thing that Coach Ware was a little bit worried about. Parker maybe giving up a little quickness to a couple of the inside players from Armstrong.
Well, and I like that Yahweh that time recognized he's probably got the foot speed and the quickness to go around Parker. And I thought the earlier possession, he made a great pass out of it, but I think they need him to attack from the perimeter, and he does a nice job of going into contact and getting a chance to get to the free throw line.
Josh Lewis, number 10, in for Park Center, along with Braden Carrington, number 24. Lewis, a senior, Carrington, a sophomore. So they go a little bit smaller lineup with Parker now checking out. Yahweh gets 1 out of 2. So a 2-point lead for Park Center. Brown's going to let it rip, this time a little long, and nice rebound grab by Solomon, but then jabbed away from him. And we will get a tie-up as Solomon rebounded it nicely but didn't protect the ball, and Lewis reached in and knocked it away.
Park Center is just one of those teams, Jay, where you got to know they're around you. You can never relax with that ball. You got to be sure of it. You got to be sure of where you're passing it. You can't telegraph stuff because they are so instinctively good at playing the passing lanes and trying to get steals.
Now Grigsby on Yahweh, who looks to drive it. Got a little off balance, but he finds Newburn, and he will hit. That is a 3 for Newburn.
A great start for the sophomore coming in, burying that big 3, but how about the vision and the pass? Left-handed, he's on the right side, able to pass it across the court there and bury the 3.
A blocking foul on the baseline going against Newburn here.
There's a look at the finish there, good open look, and I'll tell you what, that's what you're going to have to do. If you can drive and kick, you're going to get some open looks against the Pirates. You got to shoot a high percentage. You got to be able to make 3. So great start there.
Solomon out, Larkins back in as Armstrong goes with a little smaller lineup now too. Brown shrugs off the defender there, but missed the jumper, and Larkins the rebound. Breitbach, an open look for 3, but it's short. And a nice board grabbed off there by Carrington, and the drive and the layup is good.
Well, Carrington did a great job. He got rid of it to Frierson, Jay, and he didn't stop. He kept going to the basket, and Frierson so far 2 really nice assists, too, playing a little more role of a playmaker.
Right, Larkins is struggling ball handling early on. Here's Carrington again, this time blocked by a Yahweh, but Frierson is there for the putback.
And again, a great pass by Frierson in transition. A nice block that time without fouling, but nice finish up too by Frierson. Park Center on a little bit of a run here.
Breitbach stepping in, gives it to a Yahweh. Nice switch on by Frierson. A Yahweh is going to shoot the 3. That was way short. Lewis trying to get it over to Brown, but taken by Larkins. Larkins attacking, missed the shot though, and Grigsby out of there with it for PC. Carrington back for Brown for 3.
What an unselfish play by Carrington. He had an open look. I think he realized, hey, I got Joshua Brown, one of the best shooters in the state. Back, he hits him right back in rhythm. That's a beautiful shot. 2 threes already for Brown, and Park Center here is starting to roll a little bit on offense.
Boy, and Brown too, good footwork to be ready to pull the trigger right when he got that ball.
Yep, there's that beautiful give and go by Carrington. Great look. You've seen Frierson here. Watch another great pass. Great block, but Frierson able to follow up, and I'll tell you, you've noticed, Jay, that as soon as that pace kind of picked up a little bit, you've seen what Park Center's been able to do offensively. They're athletic enough to get to the rim, so you're always taught to sprint back, protect the rim, and all of a sudden you got some shooters now on the outside that you can't get out to, you can't close out to, and they're hard to guard. And Joshua Brown, when he's shooting like this, which this year he's been doing it quite often, makes him really hard to guard.
Frierson kind of showing his all-around ability. I like his game. I mean, there are players that are maybe a little more skilled than him, but he just works hard. He rebounds, he plays defense, he'll pass the ball. A lot of things that'll do good for a team.
And we saw last year, there was a couple alley-oops we saw where, I mean, he had his whole arm above the rim. I mean, just a tremendous athlete. And I think he's one of those kids, from everything I've heard, that he'll just kind of do whatever Coach Ware asks of him in that game. If it's guarding the other team's best player, if it's being a playmaker, if it's scoring, sometimes he's got to score.
Look at a foul call on the drive as a Yahweh tried to turn the corner. And I believe it's going to be Grigsby who will pick it up. Kind of got his hands into him a little bit too much there. Dylan Iniger, number 10, is in now for Armstrong, a great shooter. Falcons have gone a little bit cold here, trailing it by 6. Bewin over to Larkins. He'll take that 3, and it's off the back iron, but a Yahweh the rebound. Larkins will give it back out. Breitbach looking to attack, but too strong with the left-hand layup, and here comes Frierson.
Oh, nice look.
Over to Grigsby for 2.
Well, and that's kind of exactly what we were talking about. Great rebound on one end, and what seemed about a second and a half later, he's dropping a dime. Was that Grigsby for the layup on that? So what another luxury to have a 6'9" kid running the floor like that, able to finish. But credit Frierson for doing it all on that play.
Yahweh around Iniger, Armstrong. And we're going to get an illegal screen call onto Yahweh there. And that'll be his first. Armstrong struggling to find good shots these last several possessions. So you look at what Frierson did here coast to coast.
And that's where you got to stop the ball. That's so important, especially against Park Center. If you can pick that ball up and just slow it down enough, it allows the rest of your defense, Jay, to get down the court and at least get set up where you take away those easy looks like that. But I know that's a lot harder said than done.
Try to go to Carrington there as Lewis. And it was actually a really good pass, but he just didn't quite squeeze it.
I didn't know how he could fit it through there, but it did get through there. And I think if Carrington would have continued on to the basket, he might have found himself with a free layup.
I think that was one where, you know, it was kind of like his vision of it was blocked a little bit too, and all of a sudden the ball was on him. And Larkin's a nice drive and finish.
Yeah, he was under control that time. Good body control as well. Took the contact, but able to get the finish. So that's a much-needed bucket here for Armstrong.
Frierson, Ijadambola posting up there. They tried to go cross-court. Bwin got a piece of that. So Park Center basketball out near half court. They lead it by 6 here at 17-11. If you're just joining us, their 6'10 senior Dane Danger not playing tonight. So kind of levels the playing field a little bit, if you will, talent-wise for sure. But Lewis driving, Carrington, then Frierson and back out. Here is Cook, who's just off the bench and knocks down a three. Jalen Cook, didn't take him long to get in the score column.
But again, just what a great possession. Drive, ball, 3 quick passes. Frierson could have had a 5-foot little floater there. Instead, kicks it over to Jalen Cook, trusting his teammate. And Cook, when the ball moves like that, more often than not, they're going to go in, find the bottom of the net.
Solomon giving it up to Bwin, and the lefty knocks down a three. Second field goal tonight. First three-pointer for Adam Bwin, and Armstrong back to within 6.
They're going to need Bwin to knock that down and be aggressive tonight, averaging over 11 points per game, but they're going to need that scoring to stay with the Pirates.
Ijadambola looking to attack. Nice up and under, and he finishes.
Well, you might think you're watching Dane Danger right there. That was some great footwork underneath at 6'2", but a great up and under. And I'll tell you, when kids can play in the post and they have footwork and they're patient, you can normally get a really good shot.
Bwin trying to answer, and he does.
I always think, too, when you're guarding the lefty, it throws you off a little bit. You forget, even though you've read the scouting report, you forget that. You give up that angle, and it's going to lead to a shot.
And there's Braden Carrington knocking down a three. Boy, both teams getting a little rhythm going now. 25-16 Pirates. Oh, and there's a step in by Lewis for the steal. Goes all the way, and the layup is good.
Those are the buckets that you can't give up to Park Center. They're hard enough to defend the way it is, but when you give up those steals and those easy breakaway layups or dunks, you can see it gets their whole team going, too.
And from up here, we could kind of almost see Lewis's eyes light up. He knew once that his teammate Carrington made Bwin kind of turn that he was going to see an opening to go for it.
And that's where, as a teammate, as an offensive player, Deshaun Larkin's got to be hollering over, hey, watch your back. So communication, everyone always talks about defensive communication, but sometimes it's offensively too. And if you coach Ware right now, you got to be really pleased with, I think, the energy your team's playing with. Sometimes when you're not playing with your superstar, it can go one or two ways. You end up playing better because you know you don't have him, or you get lethargic and you're not used to it, and it takes you out of your rhythm. But I think he's got to be pretty pleased with how they're playing. Maybe those kids need to get in the game. And
yeah, they've got him. They didn't just give him a little token wave at the beginning of the night. They're right down there and sitting right behind the Armstrong bench and ready to go, listening in on the huddle even a little bit. Wonder if you have to, kind of PG the language a little bit in the huddle or anything.
Well, it's such a great, you see so many programs, and Armstrong, of course, doing it here tonight, but you get the youth players involved. They grow up dreaming of being a varsity player. It's such a wonderful thing to see.
So Falcons down by 11 as they hit the front court here. About 7:20 to go in the first half. Solomon. Here's Larkins.
Well, I always say, too, Park Center always plays so aggressively. They get in the passing lanes. They deny you the ball. That's where you got to backdoor them a couple times and try to get some of that pressure off.
Brown with a block on Breitbach's layup attempt, but then a steal by Larkins the other way. Larkins tossing one up there, no good. And Ijadambola, the rebound, then called for travel. Larkins tried to rip it away from him. As Larkins kind of got caught in between a little bit there, wasn't sure what he wanted to do on that layup.
Looks like he lost his footing a little bit there. You see him slide. That's where when you finish, especially against a team like Park Center, who you know is going to try to block it, you got to go into the contact. You got to be physical.
There's Larkins drawing a foul there as he took the bump from Ijadambola. So Larkins trying to score some points from the free throw line here. Armstrong's only shot 3 free throws so far, 2 out of 3. Make it 2 out of 4. Second one is good, so 3 points now for Larkins, and the lead is 10 here for the Pirates. Carrington, boy, Parker's being real physical with the Yahweh, trying to post him up down there.
Oh, Yahweh's doing a nice job of fronting and getting around, not allowing that post pass. I'll tell you what, once Parker gets it down there, he's got pretty good footwork and that big body. So great job just preventing from letting him catch it down there.
Larkins called for a bump as he was trying to limit the dribble there of Ijadambola. Now it goes to Parker, looking to go to work here on a Yahweh, spins at him and scores.
No, that's why you want to prevent him from catching it down there. He's right-handed, but you see him use that big body, and he got right into it on the spin. Finishes with his left hand. That was a nice post move.
29-17 Park Center. Newburn. Larkins comes out to get it. Looking to attack. Blocked by Parker, and then Parker picks it up. Ijadambola. Little crossover. Here is Brown letting it rip, but not this time. And Larkins out of there with it. Driving it all the way, no good, but he was fouled by Brown.
We can tell Larkins has got some quickness, Jay, and some game there. He's just got to slow down a little bit on those finishes. It's almost he goes so hard, he doesn't quite gather himself, get his balance and his strength. He fortunate on that one to draw some contact.
And Brown, I think, was thinking that could have been a no call pretty easily there too, but. Larkins makes the first free throw, one more coming. And when you're struggling offensively, being able to get to the line kind of can get things rolling a little bit for your team too.
No, absolutely, and no matter what, you got to like Larkin and his fearlessness. He's going at the rim as hard as he can. He's going to get a little break, but absolutely, he's been really the one guy tonight that's just been aggressive.
10-point game here. Carrington driving it into the teeth of the defense. Missed it, and a Yahweh will grab it.
Get back.
Newburn bringing it back out top to get set. Here's Iniger. Now a Yahweh. Went with the handoff for Bwin and around to Breitbach. Back out, extra pass for Newburn, but no. Tipped loose, a Yahweh trying to save it, and then it is saved by Carrington. Jadambola dribbles for a 3, in and out there, and a Yahweh the board. Iniger back out to Newburn. Iniger dumping it down low. Good recovery by Jadambola. I can see why he thought that was there for a moment. Brown's pass tipped. Good hustle by Iniger. Not going to be able to save it, but he got a piece of that one.
No, that's great defense. That's the help, and then you get back into that passing lane and almost got away with the steal there. But yeah, you're right. On the flip side, it looked like it was a good post entrance, going to maybe lead to a score, but excellent hustle. Both teams doing a nice job of fighting the post, not allowing an easy catch and score.
Frierson and Lewis come back in here, as does Grigsby for Park Center. Brown keeps that dribble alive and scores in traffic. That was not an easy hoop.
No, and he hung just enough there where the defender came down. He was still in the air and able to finish. So not just a shooter now, showing off his ability to get to the basket as well.
Newburn driving it. Solomon back over to Bwin for a 3, but it's in and out. Yahweh rips the rebound away from Grigsby, though, and then Bwin, it's going to be a blocking foul against the Pirates' Lewis.
Well, nice job by Yahweh there to get that offensive rebound, keep that possession going. And you get rewarded by attacking, and Park Center with their 7th team foul, so Bwin's going to get a chance here to get to the free throw line.
Yeah, 7 fouls on the Pirates and just 3 on Armstrong so far, but that's not necessarily always a good thing. And, you know, Coach Ware was talking about before the game, if you're playing defense right, you're probably going to pick up a few fouls too. And Bwin calmly knocks down a pair. He's been good tonight so far with 9 points. And the lead is back to 10 for Park Center. 3.5 to play here in the first half. Brown, a crossover move, and then kicks it back out to Frierson. Grigsby and a Jadambola now. Brown will let it fly and in and out.
He's had a couple that have been in and out like that. Even his misses look like makes.
Breitbach the drive, and it just wouldn't fall, but he gets it back. And then Solomon was fouled as he put the ball on the floor, and I think it'll be Lewis again picking it up.
Well, you got to applaud the Falcons, their effort. You know, they're fighting for second chance points. This is a back-to-back possessions where a missed shot, great hustle, keeping the possession alive, leading to some free throws.
Solomon, the only Falcon starter not to have scored, and now he does get in the scorebook with that free throw. So we look at Coach Bryant here and said we really had 3 guys returning who played a lot last year, but a lot of the others were kind of new to the lineup, so it takes a little time to mesh. And he said, overall we like what we've done, but we've certainly got a long way to go too. Lead is 8 now for Park Center. Closest Armstrong's been in a while, actually. Grigsby handing it off to Jadambola, now Brown. Hanging for the floater, no good. Yahweh the rebound. Solomon, let's see, what do we got here? Offensive foul. Lewis got back and drew that one.
Yeah, you could see Lewis sprint back right before he takes this. You see him right there. He gathered himself. I think that's the right call. And that's where the old lost art, Jay, of what they call a jump stop, right? You just come to that hop step and you can shoot a little 4-foot, 5-foot pull-up or make that Euro step move that you see. But that was a pretty solid play that time by Lewis. I thought he got there and was set there for just a brief second.
Well, and he had just picked up 2 fouls in a row, too. I'll give him credit for not being, selfishly worried about himself getting fouls. He was trying to make the right play for his team there.
Yeah.
And a turnover here by the Falcons. They were trying to plead their case that it was tipped.
Well, I'll tell you, that play is kind of, it's not going to go down in the scorebooks, Jay, but Armstrong actually had numbers there. and you end up getting pressured, and it's a turnover. And those are the kind of things that this Pirate defense will do to you, is just rather than giving up a layup like most teams would, they end up turning you over on a chance like that.
Grigsby flashes open, too hard off the backboard, but Lewis grabs it, and then Ijadimbola open for three, and he hits. Second chance points. Tough thing to overcome if Park Center is getting that opportunity again.
And you can't give them second chance points either. Nice job by Lewis. Got the rebound, immediately kicked it out, and buried another three.
Newburn, kind of got bailed out there. That was a not real easy shot coming up there.
I'm sure Coach Ware is telling Grigsby right now, just get your hands up. You don't need to block that. The chances of that kind of a shot going in are slim to none. If he makes it, great. If he doesn't, don't bail him out and give him free throws.
Newburn's free throw is good. Carrington coming back in for PC. Dawson Rudolph, number 32, also coming in. Larkins will come back in for Armstrong, and Bwin will get a breather.
Bwin's had a good half. Provided a nice spark, some scoring for the Falcons. Rebound!
In and out with that one. Frierson grabs the rebound. So again, it's a 10-point advantage here for Park Center on the road. Ijadimbola, that one blocked with the foot there by Solomon. Bwin getting a quick break there and comes right back in. Solomon will check out as Ijadimbola gets set to inbound for Park Center. And then he quickly posts up, and he is fouled by Larkins. As they saw, every time he's had that matchup, they've tried to post up Ijadimbola.
Well, he's only 2 inches taller than Larkin, but he's quite a bit thicker. So you can see they feel very comfortable. I like the no-nonsense inbounds play. They right in and right back to the post, and Ijadimbola looking to score right away.
And they get it into Brown. He misses it in close, trying to go up again with it, and this time it will drop.
Oh, that's going to be a technical. You see, I think Josh Brown is a little frustrated that he missed the first one. He scored it, grabbed the ball, and then looks like he pushed it right into one of the Falcons players. That's just a little frustration right there. Let's see, watch this one go in.
Yeah, stuck it into the chest of Newburn there. And right away, Frierson came in and said, no, you can't be doing that. And Brown, I think, realized it right away, too, and just that little moment of anger or frustration. So Breitbach will shoot the technical, but he misses it. I mean, obviously, you don't want that to happen if you're Brown or if you're Coach Ware or you're the Pirates, but I thought it was pretty good that they kind of quickly calmed down there, and a teammate, another veteran player,
it wasn't the coach doing it, it was a player. Absolutely. Right. You want your best teams are the ones that are really policed by their own players, and you can see, I think Brown was just a little frustrated, and I know that feeling when you got 3 or 4 guys slapping at you and you're about to score, and you do score, you're kind of like, boom, here you go, take that. You know, so things like that can happen. That's just being disciplined and knowing that it's big. You know, your team is bigger than you. You just got to make smart plays.
And there's a Yahweh going in for his first field goal of the half here, as we're down to 40 seconds to play in the half. Armstrong back to within 9 now on that hoop by a Yahweh.
And I'd like to see a Yahweh do more of that, cutting to the basket off of screen and rolls, sliding in like that, getting a little 5-6 foot floater. He's got excellent touch.
It's like the Pirates want to play for the last shot here, and hopefully for their sake go in to the locker room up by double digits, or at worst with this 9-point lead. Frierson waiting for a screen from Rudolph here as we're down to 7 seconds. A Yahweh quickly jumps out for the double team. Here's Brown letting it go for 3. That one is short, and the save is not going to work out. So we do come to halftime with Park Center holding a lead here on the road, and that obviously you'd rather get that last hoop, but still at least you don't give the other team an opportunity there.
Well, that was great defense too. A nice job trapping Frierson off that ball screen, and I think it threw the Pirates off their rhythm a little bit and forced a desperation three there at the end.
Let's go down now to Allie with Coach Bryant.
All right, Coach, a 9-point game at half. You said kind of everything worried you about Park Center because they're the second best team in the state, but 9 points at half. What'd you see?
We got to do a better job defensively getting to their shooters. They got guys that can shoot the ball, and we're not getting out there, and we're not closing out hard enough.
What about second chance points that you guys are allowing? How do you want to tighten that up in the second?
We got to tighten up a lot of things. Getting back on defense, blocking out better, and getting to shooters.
Anyone you want to see step up offensively?
We got to get the ball inside to our big kid.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Guys.
Thanks, Allie, and thanks to Coach Bryant. We'll hear from Coach Ware on the way back into halftime. We have reached the halfway point here from Armstrong High School, and a good one so far. Park Center leading Armstrong at 36-27. We'll be back with first half highlights and more here on CCX Sports.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
Welcome back here to Armstrong High School. The Armstrong youth players out there getting it done on the court here at halftime. Park Center leading the Falcons 36-27 at halftime as we check out some first half highlights from this contest. And Frierson giving it up. Joshua Brown had the hot hand early on here for Park Center, making a couple of threes. The other, a nice cut. Yahweh finding Breitbach for two there.
And that's how you have to beat Park Center. You got to attack them. And there was a couple-minute stretch there where Frierson got about 3 or 4 assists in transition. This time another nice pass, good block, but a nice follow-up by Frierson.
And it's Grigsby to Carrington and back to Brown. Yeah, they had some really nice sequences in that little 2-3 minute stretch there.
And this is, I think, what makes Park Center so dangerous. A missed shot on one end, and just like that, a nice push by Frierson, and Grigsby gets the easy layup.
Bewan certainly did his part to carry Armstrong in that first half. He led them in points. Parker limited a little bit by foul trouble, but that was his one big post move, and that little chicken wing into the chest with his other off elbow there. That one probably hurt a little bit. And there's a Jadambola knocking down a 3 for PC there. You see the scores, Brown with 10. Jadambola with 7, Grigsby and Carrington 5 apiece. Bewan had 9, Larkins 5, Breitbach and Newbern with 4 each for Armstrong in that first half.
And you think about Park Center, Jay, they made 6 threes in that first half, so pretty impressive display of shooting the ball. Again, without Dane Danger down low, someone that you can play inside out with, that's pretty impressive. Good drive and kicks, and you heard Coach Bryant say, we got to know who their shooters are, and we got to contest those, get them off of the three-point line.
Let's take a look at some rankings here. We're kind of into that mid-season type area, and Eden Prairie still ranked number 1. Park Center does have 2 losses, but they were both 2 really good teams. Obviously, Minnehaha Academy beat them in the last round. Cretin-Durham Hall's got a couple losses already as well. Hopkins in there at number 7. That was Armstrong's lone loss coming into tonight. And as the go a little bit deeper here, see Armstrong just outside the top 10 at number 11, Champlain Park, a team that they played already here too as well. And Rebels trying to get themselves going a little bit. It was funny when I asked John Bryan about it. I said, I haven't been hearing a lot of Armstrong chatter, and he immediately said, that's good. We want it that way. We don't want to deal with it, the extra hype and all of that kind of thing isn't really something that we just want to work on getting ourselves better. And maybe by the end of the year, if you're in that conversation, that's good. But
no, pretty consistent group. But I'll tell you the one thing this year is there's parity. Wayzata down this year, but they were decimated with injuries to start the year off. So Eden Prairie, the lone unbeaten, and I'll tell you, Hopkins, when we did their game against Minnehaha Academy a couple weeks ago, that was as well as I've seen any team play this year. So a lot of talent, but I think it's wide open this year.
We will take a timeout and come back with more of our coverage here of Northwest Suburban boys basketball as we see John Grigsby knocking one down for Park Center. 36-27 Pirates at halftime. Welcome back. Park Center leading at 36-27. Let's go down to Allie.
Coach, coming into this one, you were curious how your team would fare without Dane. What'd you see in the first half out of your team?
I thought we did okay. I mean, I'll say okay. If I was the greatest, I'd say we're probably at about a B- right now of what I think we're capable of. I think our guards got to do a little bit better job of rebounding the basketball. But I think, we have a great opportunity for other guys to step in and play minutes. I actually heard you say next man up. Yep, that's next man up. So we just got to do a little better job.
You guys have had a couple nice offensive runs. How do you want to close out this game if you continue to hold the lead?
Well, I'd like to see us actually be a little bit more patient on offense. If we can get it, let's go and transition right away. But then if their defense is set, let's make them work a little bit. Let's make them guard us. Let's not settle for a quick shot.
Appreciate your time, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Coach Ware and Ellie, as you get a look at the shooting in the first half. And, boy, the bottom number is a big one there. Park Center, 0 free throws attempted, whereas Armstrong's gotten 11 of their points. And you wouldn't necessarily think that Armstrong would be trailing as much in three-point field goal. I mean, that's something their program is generally known for, and they haven't taken or made all that many threes in that first half.
Well, a couple of things. Park Center, those 6 threes, their other 9 baskets were all layups, uncontested layups. So it tells me that Armstrong doing a nice job attacking the basket, but Park Center also not allowing easy baskets. So, but you make 6 threes and a half, you're shooting over 50% from 3, along with some easy transition baskets. That's going to win most ball games. So 9 points, it's still anyone's game. It'll be interesting to see who comes out here to start the second half. I always look for these first couple minutes to see what changes each team is going to make.
Frierson will inbound here for Park Center, and we are underway in half number 2. A few guys have 2 fouls, actually 4 different players for Park Center. Nobody had 3 in that first half. Here is Brown on the drive, and Bwin. Oh, wait a minute, we're going to have an offensive foul.
I think we're going to get Parker for moving his defender out, almost kind of acting like a screen there, but I was going to say that's a heck of a move by Brown, but maybe that's why he was able to get to the basket a little easier there.
Well, Parker's a lineman in the fall for the Pirates football team, and occasionally he kind of plays like that on the basketball court too, which is a good thing in a lot of ways.
Nice.
And the bounce is good for Solomon, getting the three-pointer to drop.
That is the old John Bryant Falcon bounce that he got there, but that's a great start. Solomon with a big three. Just like that, we got a 6-point game, so that's exactly how you wanted to start here if you're Armstrong.
They pitch it into Parker. Good help defense. Offensive foul as he brought the arm around. And might have caught a Yahweh in the face, it looked like. You see the double team arrives and Parker coming through and clipped him in the chin with his elbow.
Nice job by the Falcons that time collapsing on Parker. He showed the ability, if he's one-on-one down there with that big body and good footwork, he can score, but nice job collapsing, and I'll tell you, Yahweh paid the price for that one. 2 quick fouls on Parker here to start the second half.
You see no ill feeling, no, he's kind of saying, Parker, boy, you got me there a little bit.
Yeah.
So Parker will sit down. That's the thing, you know, it's hard to say, we want you to be physical and aggressive, but then if you pick up a couple fouls, say, hey, what are you doing out there? I mean, you know, it's just, you kind of live with that a little bit too. Larkins into the front court. Armstrong really right back in this one early in the second half. Here's a Yahweh. He's been a little bit hesitant, hasn't he?
I was just going to say, I think they want him to be aggressive and look to score, because he's got good height, he's got good size, strength, quickness, and he's been effective when he has shot the ball and driven. So I think they want him to do that.
Right back to Solomon, missed it, and nice hands by Brown to snare that one. Here's Carrington. Pull-up is way too strong. I think he was surprised the defender got up on him as much as he did there. Bwin will give it corner to Solomon, right back out. Breitbach, a shot fake. Dishes to a Yahweh for 2.
Beautiful ball movement that time, and Breitbach got it. I thought he was going to shoot that. That was a great shot fake. He didn't settle that time. He could have taken a tough contested 3 instead. Drives, makes a nice unselfish play, and they get a Yahweh, an easy basket.
So Armstrong has trimmed the lead to 4. Brown, a step back 3, and he hits. Wow.
And you get the feeling too, Jay, that Brown, without danger there, feels like this maybe is his team, and no one sensing that his team needs a basket there takes a hard contested 3 that buries it.
And Yahweh, the up and under move, draws the foul from Grigsby. He's a lefty, and he went to the right hand there and just accepted the foul right there. And that's something that sometimes it's harder for young post players to learn, that drawing a foul is a good play.
Yep.
You know, you might end up getting hit a little bit. You might not make the basket. Eventually, you know, if you get stronger, you like to do both. But drawing a foul like that is a valuable thing for your team.
Yep, and you get the other guy in foul trouble, and they're less likely to contest you when they have foul trouble. So, and you got to convert the free throws too. You did a great job of drawing the foul. That's where you got to be able to convert, knock both of those. Oh, wow.
Crossover by Frierson, and his layup is good. He's been a little quiet offensively in terms of scoring, but he's done a lot of good things for them.
Yeah, that was a great left to right crossover, and you can see how quickly he gets to the rim. And there's not too many people that are going to challenge him at the rim and block his shot.
There's Breitbach answering with a strong layup. 6-point game.
Great fake and a nice finish with his offhand too.
Jadambola, it's going to be a foul against Larkins. Eventually, Jadambola pushed off, I think, but Larkins already had kind of committed that foul. I'm starting to just kind of add it up a little bit. There's a lot of lefties in this game, more so than on any normal night. You know, you got a Yahweh and Bwin and a Jadambola. Cross court, Carrington, an open look, no good. Putback is good by Brown. And you said it exactly what I was thinking earlier, Ryan. He's more than just a shooter now. His all-around game has just really grown.
And a lot of that's just confidence, right? Not feeling like you have to be just a shooter now. You can see he's scored in a variety of ways. That time a nice offensive putback.
Larkins keeps the dribble alive and gets the layup to go.
It's kind of that discombobulated finish there, a little awkward looking, but Nice job with his left hand and nice drive.
Jadambola, the pull-up, and that is good. Park Center coming with a little bit of token pressure here. 8-point lead for the Pirates. They were up by 9 at halftime. Armstrong trimmed it to 4, but now the Pirates have stretched it back out a little bit. Larkins is going to shoot it from the baseline, no good, and Frierson rebounds. Grigsby an open look, and that is good for 3.
But again, that pace starting to pick up a little bit. You can see Park Center just naturally feels better, in a better rhythm when they're playing with that type of pace.
Breitbach to a Yahweh for the layup.
Well, I like the aggressiveness of Breitbach here in the second half. He's taking it right to the rim, and he's making smart plays. If they cut him off, he's finding his teammate too.
And we're going to get a foul against, I think, Grigsby, as he got tied up trying to set a screen on a Yahweh. And that's going to be the 4th on Grigsby.
Let's see if we can see it here.
Right on the screen. I don't know. He had his hand around his waist a little bit there too. That one could have been a no call pretty easily there.
That's one you got to let go. It didn't affect the play, and then he didn't give anyone an advantage either.
And Jadambola will be called for riding the dribbler a little bit there. Foul starting to mount up for Park Center.
Well, and that's 5 team fouls too, so if Armstrong can keep that pressure on him, they're going to be shooting the bonus here for quite a long time here in the second half. And again, that allows you to, obviously you get free points, but it allows you to get rest, to set your defense, and slow that pace down a little bit too.
Nice steal by Brown. And then Bwin will be called for riding the dribbler. What's good at this end better be good at the other, is what Coach Ware is saying. And I think it's kind of, an unsaid thing that you typically on the road probably don't get quite as many calls. And I think he's probably reminded the officials of that a little bit here too. Jump ball. Solomon came in and blocked it as Frierson tried to go up.
Yeah, great help that time by Solomon coming over and contesting that.
So Falcons down by 9. As I said, they had cut it to 4, but Park Center has opened things back up a little bit. Now a Yahweh finding Breitbach.
Those are those dangerous passes against Park Center that cross court, hang in the air like that. You got to be sure when you make those passes.
Breitbach attacking, missed it, and couldn't quite get the rebound. Here comes Lewis. Lewis all the way, and the layup is good.
Hey, I like how Lewis plays. Great body control, great pace that time, and kind of hesitated and realized no one was picking him up. No one stopped the ball, able to get all the way to the rim.
So the lead back to double figures. Armstrong in kind of a spot now where they need to get a little bit of a run, and they need to get some stops. Here's Bwin shooting a 3, no good. Brown the rebound.
I'll tell you what, Armstrong started the second half really nicely, got it down to 6 there, but I think Park Center did a nice job of answering.
Here's a pull-up from Brown, no good. Frierson got knocked down. Newburn driving it and lays it in.
I'll tell you what, Peyton did a nice job that time. He went up towards the left but brought the ball back to his right. He uses his body to shield the defender there. That was a nice finish.
They just had 38, right?
He's got long arms too. It looked like that one might get blocked, but able to just kind of stretch it out.
Didn't they just have 38?
Lewis looking for the cutter, Brown, and he was fouled before he could go up with that shot. Newburn will be called for the foul.
Man, you get the feeling, I don't know if the defensive intensity has picked up on both sides, but the referee's calling a little bit more too. That's 8 quick fouls here to start the second half.
Lewis inbounding to Brown, but missed it. Looked like a lot of people weren't quite ready for that, but he didn't quite finish the shot.
A great look by Lewis. Kind of funny how Brown, who's made some really tough shots tonight, gets an easy look, but sometimes those are the hardest ones to convert.
Bwin will shoot it from the top and in and out. Carrington the rebound. Bwin's gone a little bit cold. Brown giving it up to Frierson. Looking across. Carrington for three. That's short. Newbern pushing it back the other way. A little Euro step there, and we have an offensive foul against Newbern.
And Lewis taking his second charge here of the night. Again, doing a nice job, and that's one where, Newbern, it's a nice attempt, but that's where you got to make a play for a teammate. He had a couple running with him. And you like the aggressiveness, you like him attacking, but sometimes just make the simple play and not the spectacular play.
Inbounded to Lewis here. Larkin's up, hounding him. Pirates lead it by 9.
It's a foul, yep.
Sean Larkins will pick up his 4th. And I would guess that some of the players right now think it's being called too close, but you have to adjust to that too.
Yep. And we'll give the referees credit. They're calling it equal on both sides. So it's 5 team fouls apiece, and they've called a number of those hand checks against both of them.
Lewis keeps the dribble alive, goes in, but kind of lost it on the way up, it looked like. And then we get another foul call, trying to come out of there with it. Going to be on Parker. Yahweh will come back, come back in, and Rudolph back in for Park Center.
For Park Center, number 32, Rudolph, number 53, Tim Parker.
Iniger coming back to get it. Cook defending him is back in also for PC. Breitbach looking for a Yahweh. Looking to attack on Frierson. He scores with his right hand.
I'm telling you, when they've given him the ball down there, Jay, they've been successful.
There's a steal by Iniger. Has Solomon with him.
Nice pass.
Layup is good.
Great defense by Iniger that time, and a nice job. It looked like he was about to get it knocked from behind. He gave it up at just the right time. And a nice finish, a nice quick 4 points there.
So the Falcons now to within 5 again. Just when every time it looks like Park Center might start to kind of pull away, Armstrong able to chip their way back into it. 9:20 to go in the second half. And we're going to have an offensive foul on the screener, I think. Yeah, Rudolph.
Great hands by Iniger reaching in there, and then watch, you see him look around there. He kind of senses right when that defense is about to make a play on the ball, able to give it up to Solomon, who was able to finish. So nice play by Iniger, unselfish play.
And any later, and it would have been too late for Solomon to still have an angle for that. Here's a Yahweh. Good defense this time by Frierson. Back out for Solomon, and he hits the 3, and it's a 2-point game.
Well, Solomon's picked it up offensively, 5 quick points like that. But again, I love when they play through the Yahweh. It just seems like good things happen. He either gets a shot, or as we saw there, he creates a shot for his teammate.
Frierson across to Rudolph. Lewis into the middle of the lane, over for Rudolph. He'll shoot that baseline jumper, no good. Breitbach was fouled as he tried to pull that rebound in. Either Frierson or Cook will get it.
And I thought maybe that would be a jump ball on that play, but nothing was called. The Yahweh stayed with it and skips it out, and Solomon hit a couple threes tonight. He's showing he's got nice touch when he's squared up and lets it fly. This is where those fouls really come into play. Now we got a 1-possession game, and for the last 8 minutes and 21 seconds here, Armstrong will be shooting bonus.
Breitbach with his team down by 2, a chance to tie it up here. First one is good, so he gets the bonus. So look at Ty Bowman in the middle there, the great receiver. He and Breitbach were quite a combination for the Armstrong football team this fall, as you said.
Yeah, they were fun to watch.
Frierson asking the official something. I'm not entirely sure what the conversation was there, but Breitbach with a second opportunity on the free throw here, a chance to tie it up. Second free throw is good by Breitbach, and Allie tells us it was a situation where somebody may have had blood on the uniform there. So we are evened up at 50-50 as Armstrong getting 9 in a row, and there's a foul on a Yahweh on the hold.
Well, if you're going to have blood, that's where you want to be on the Armstrong team because it would blend right in. I'll tell you that, you know, when Allie was talking to Coach Bryan, he said, we got to know where their shooters are. I think they've done a nice job of it here in the second half. Nothing's been easy for Park Center. Defensively, Armstrong, that's what has allowed them to get back in this game. Nothing in transition and no easy looks, especially for Joshua Brown. The 1-3 he did hit was contested and deep.
So 11 in a row, actually, it is for Armstrong. It was 50-39. Here is Brown for a look, and he hits.
Of course, right as I say that. Well, nice job. A little dribble handoff, and it looked like the Falcon defender went underneath that, and that allowed Brown. He doesn't need much. You know, he's 6'3", so he's got pretty decent height with him. He doesn't need a lot of space to get that shot off.
Cross, here's Iniger from the corner, and that's good for 3. First bucket for Dillon. I was watching him in practice bury threes when he came visited them shortly after Christmas.
He's a great shooter, but again, you play with the Yahweh down low, and a nice job with that skip pass going opposite. And Iniger can shoot him with the best of them.
Into Frierson, left it short. Armstrong a chance to take the lead. Solomon trying to go across to Breitbach. It was tip, but eventually gets there anyway. Here's Bwin. Thought about it.
Yeah, if I'm Armstrong, I'm continuing to play through a Yahweh. Good things have seemed to happen. He's not a selfish player either. He'll pass it, but he's made the right play.
Breitbach is held by Lewis as he puts it on the deck. That'll be number 3 on Lewis. So Breitbach to the line, or the chance to give his team the lead.
You can see definitely contact, especially the way this game, especially in the second half, how it's been called. You got to avoid that.
Well, we remind you to vote for our CCX Sports Play of the Week, brought to you by Chick-fil-A in Maple Grove. We have 4 plays each week for you, the viewers, to choose from. CCXmedia.org is the place to go. And again, Chick-fil-A in Maple Grove. So that is, boy, this has turned into a really good one, Ryan. There were stretches where you're thinking like, well, maybe it's going to be a 10, 15-point lead, and all of a sudden Armstrong's fought their way back in it.
No, they've done a really nice job, and a sign of being well coached is when your coach is talking about something, you go out and you do it. And other than a couple of that last play where Joshua Brown had that open 3, I think defensively Armstrong has really picked it up a notch. And the other thing is they're shooting a high percentage from 3 this half too. They've been very efficient and knocking down shots.
Yeah, and when you've got a Yahweh kind of roaming from block to block, and then you've got, on his side of the floor, a couple different shooters options, it makes it a little tough. I mean, you can see why they've won, 8 of their first 9 games.
Absolutely. And that's where also, without Dane Danger, if he was in the game, you wouldn't have to help, I wouldn't think, because of his height and shot blocking ability. So it does change things up a little bit, but credit Armstrong for recognizing that mismatch and going to it, and Yahweh doing a nice job of scoring the basketball and then drawing the help and finding open teammates too.
And we just saw Parker too, and he's really been limited by foul trouble. He's obviously got the height and the bulk to defend inside, but he's certainly picked up fouls in not really all that many minutes. So Breitbach for the lead, and he hits. 54-53 Falcons.
You know, the other thing too, Jay, is the Falcons are shooting a much higher percentage here in the second half. Missed a few free throws in that first half. They seem to be converting on more of them here in the second half.
Breitbach makes a pair. He's 4 for 4 at the line in this half. 55-53 Armstrong. As the Pirates have slowed their pace, certainly. Here's Brown letting it go from the wing. No good. Look at Frierson get up for that rebound. Ejadambola gives it up for Cook. And that's too long. Breitbach grabs the rebound. Here's Bwin. Newburn will pull it back out. Breitbach for 3. No. And a Yahweh, the rebound over to Breitbach for 2.
Nice job. Great offensive rebound by Yahweh to fight and keep that going. And then he fights Breitbach, finishes. Nice.
Frierson drives, couldn't get it to go, but he tipped it free to himself. So we'll see how the Pirates respond to being down now. Brown, a step back, won't go. Rebound, Iniger.
Nice job by the Falcons. They're boxing out. You can see all 5 guys with the body on there.
Bwin left open for 3 and he hits. Wow. Armstrong all of a sudden can do no wrong. Timeout, Park Center. The lead is 7 for the Falcons.
I'll tell you what I loved is Peyton Newburn had the ball in transition as a young player. We've seen him maybe attack a little too aggressively. He kicks it out. Breitbach misses. You can see a Yahweh fighting for that offensive rebound. Hits Breitbach for the layup, and then they get another stop. This is a great offensive rebound. Look at his head. You see his head immediately up, looking for guys cutting. That was big, and then here's another stop. Nice job boxing out. Iniger with the big rebound. And again, a smart play by Newburn there, slowing it down. Finds the opening there, and Bwin knocks down a 3. He's been the big scorer tonight so far for the Falcons. Tied with Breitbach, I believe, at 12. But just a great team effort here. Nice job here, Armstrong, the last couple minutes on a big run.
See the shooting, Armstrong up to near 50% now. Park Center has dropped a little bit below. And there again, the free throws. Park Center has still not shot a free throw in tonight's game. Unbelievable.
You know, and a lot of those are because they're shooting a lot of jump shots tonight, a lot of three-point shots. You know, this is where you'd love to see a kid like Frierson, who's so athletic, just say, you know what, I'm going to the basket, and he either scores or gets fouled, right? If you feel like if he decided to do that, there's really nothing anyone could do. But you credit the Falcons and their team defense doing a really nice job in the second half.
Parker will come back in with those 4 fouls now for Park Center. Not, you know, at this point, not really looking to save them necessarily anymore. It gets this late in the game and you're down.
And that Falcon defense, I mean, holding Park Center to 17 points in the second half.
There's Frierson skying for that rebound, and he puts it back. And now they'll come with pressure.
This is where you got to be really smart with the basketball. Be smart knowing pressure's going to come. You got to make great passes, good cuts, and know that they're going to be anticipating, being aggressive, trying to create some turnovers.
Under 5 minutes to go. A Yahweh attacking, and he scores.
You get the feel the crowd loves him. When he's attacking, you see the collective breath and able to finish off the spin.
And Ejadambola answers with a 3 for the Pirates. And they're back within 4.
You just get the feeling every possession's starting to feel important.
Iniger to Breitbach down low, and Parker knocked that one away.
And that's one Breitbach's going to want back. If he could have got that ball a little bit quicker, I think Yahweh would have been able to seal and get a bucket. But how about the spin move and a nice finish too? And you see the crowd. Look at how fired up they are.
And they know Parker has 4 fouls too. There is an inbound, and Bwin was left free for the layup.
Well, those are the kind of baskets they weren't getting in that first half. Nothing was easy for them. Well executed out of bounds play, and they get a layup.
Steal by Iniger. And then Ejadambola takes it back. And then Breitbach re-steals. As the teams trade turnovers back and forth.
He's got to get over the line here pretty quickly.
Down low, Yahweh. They want to foul Parker out here, I think. And that one was too strong.
Nice job by Parker that time, just playing straight up. Not trying to block it, but just making it difficult, and he forced a tough shot.
Inside it comes to Parker. Offensive foul. And that will be number 5 on Parker. Another look at it here. And Breitbach was set up, and of course you have that new restraining line, and he was definitely outside it.
But how about Breitbach? I mean, that's not a fun task to take a charge on James Parker coming at you full speed like that. But a nice job, excellent defensive play, selfless play by Breitbach.
So they didn't quite get it done at the other end, trying to foul him out, I think, as they went into a Yahweh. Be interesting to see it with Armstrong. It's too early for them to just kind of sit on this lead, I think, and they're not going to. B-win, the layup from Breitbach.
You know what I love? They took the pressure. They didn't wilt or worry about it. They attacked it, and great pass by Breitbach. A nice job by B-win. Good catch and finish.
8-point lead, and there's Frierson doing what Ryan suggested, just taking it to the rim.
You know, when he does that, there's not many people in the state of Minnesota that can stop it. He's just so athletic, and he's got good height to him, too. Don't forget, he's 6'5".
Breitbach. Offensive foul. As Cook stood in there and took that charge, and Breitbach, you know, he got one in his way the other end, and that time he left his feet to pass it and is called for the charge.
Well, nice job by Jalen Cook. Look at him step in there, and he sold it too, and that's just great team defense right there. That's what you do. You do anything you can to win a possession, anything to get the ball back.
Frierson will shoot a 3 too hard, but Cook the rebound, it spins out. But they keep it alive. Here's Brown for 3. That one's in and out. And Iniger grabs the rebound. And then had it stolen by Jadambola, and he scores.
Wow.
4-point game. Pirates coming hard with pressure.
Again, can you take care of the basketball knowing Park Center's starting to play a little desperate now. They're starting to pick up that energy on offense. Excellent timeout call right there by John Bryant.
So a 4-point lead for the Falcons, but it was 8 a moment ago. Park Center coming back hard. And you're right, you know, sometimes you get to that point when you realize you're down big and you just start to get after it. Iniger did a good job controlling it, but the Pirates did a good job not fouling there. And as he exposed the ball a little bit, Jadambola blocked that pass from behind.
Yeah, when you put that ball behind your head like that, then it's vulnerable. And a nice job by Jadambola there to grab it away and then to finish.
Well, it can be tough trying to protect a lead too against a team like Park Center that's that's got quickness on the perimeter and they're aggressive and when you're the team with the basketball, it can get in your head a little bit that you don't want to make the wrong play, and then ultimately that can make it worse sometimes.
Yeah, the other thing, I think Armstrong, like what they did in a previous possession, they attacked. Like, you can still attack. If they start trying to play keep away and moving the ball, that's almost playing right into Park Center, because then they're gambling and anticipating. I think Armstrong built this lead and really has had a great second half by attacking the basketball. I'd go back to going 4 round 1 and playing through Yahweh again and seeing if he can't get a score, or at least draw some double teams and find their shooters again. That was really successful.
Bwin throwing it in for Larkins, and Jadambola up defending him. Solomon comes out to get it. Bwin will fire up a long 3 and he hits.
That was a great set play, Jay, out of the timeout. They set it up perfectly. Bwin on that little fade screen got a great look. That was a deep 3 too.
Frierson attacks and is fouled. It'll be Breitbach picking it up.
Got a little set play there, a nice fade screen. You can see the great screen by Yahweh there's freeing Bwin, and Bwin just knocks it down. Good arc on that, good legs. Sometimes it's tough to get your legs at the end of a game, but that was a nice looking shot.
And Frierson's free throw is good. And like we said a moment ago, I mean, I really, sometimes teams just fall into the trap of playing scared with the lead and thinking all we can do is protect it and not be still aggressive. And I think it was too early for that, and I guess Armstrong agreed. Frierson misses the second. The lead is 6 for the Falcons. Minute 45 to go. Jadambola got the tip, but then Bwin recovered it. Larkins thought about it, goes up in the air, back out to Breitbach, around. Can Bwin do it again? No.
The crowd would have exploded. That was halfway down, in and out.
Jadambola back for Carrington, down low. Frierson wants to attack. Well defended that time though. Here's Brown looking to get some space to get a 3 up. Carrington will shoot it. That's no good. And rebound to Frierson, and he was fouled. Looks like it's going to be Breitbach, who is fortunate that he didn't have any before, because he's picked up 3 in a pretty short span here, but he still only got the 3.
How about that young man just going after the offensive rebounds too? It looked like Armstrong had both of those rebounds, and Frierson with that great leaping ability, able to go up and get that offensive rebound.
Short though on the rim with that one, and Bwin grabs it, so they don't get the bonus. Still a 6-point game. Bwin ahead and now back out. And now we're in a different spot. We're late enough that you probably do want to use some time now. Back out, Breitbach. Bwin doesn't even think about shooting that one. Breitbach steps through and then is held. Good smart play there. You know, the first thing you look for is to try and step through that double team if you can.
But when you do it, you got to be strong, and that time Breitbach very strong with it. If you can split that double team, then all of a sudden you got a numbers game, but he's able to draw the foul.
So Breitbach trying to increase a 6-point lead, and he hits. Second one, also good. Breitbach's been perfect at the line in the half. 71-63 Falcons. Brown for 3, no, and rebound to Bwin, and he was fouled. And we'll head to the other end, and right now Armstrong in command. We had a little situation there again.
I think they called a technical on Deshaun Larkins.
It was similar to the one earlier. He kind of pushed the ball out at Frierson, and then Frierson kind of punched it away. And that'll be the 5th on Larkins. So he'll be out with 7 points. The initial foul was against Park Center. So Bwin will shoot, but then we'll have free throw at the other end. And he misses. Bwin has been clutch down the stretch, but missed that free throw. Second one is good, so the lead is 9. Here's another look as Larkins. And I didn't think initially that they saw that. And Coach Ware was pointing out, hey, that was no different than what happened there earlier. So now at the other end, it'll be Brown shooting free throws here. And he hits. And it'll be Park Center basketball. Big mistake there by Larkin. Boy, if you're the team ahead especially, you can't afford to get involved in any of that. You could say it wasn't all that much, but it's enough. Frierson attacks, missed it, but he was fouled and will shoot free throws.
So let me ask you, Jay, have you noticed a different Frierson here the last 5 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
And it makes you wonder, why not do that all game long? He's so darn athletic. You can see he's turned it on here, and he's been able to get to that rim at will.
Free throw is good, so he's been just 2 for 4 at the line. But obviously, it's huge this late in the game when you can score with the clock stopped. So getting to the line's almost even better than getting a hoop in some ways.
Man, it allows you to get that pressure defense set up. They're going to be coming with their traps. This is where Armstrong has to be strong with the ball and cannot telegraph.
Breitbach able to sneak his way up the sideline. Got it to Newbern, back to Breitbach, and fouled by Frierson. And Frierson got one in the face there, it looked like.
I'll tell you, that's where you love having a kid like Breitbach on your team. He didn't panic when he was trapped. He just pivoted and went up the sideline, able to break it. He plays with a lot of confidence. And I tell you, teams like Park Center, you can see the elbow right there.
I'm guessing what Frierson was kind of thinking was, well, we got called for that with Parker before, but I think it felt like it was a little different. And Breitbach, it spins out. Armstrong leaving the door open a little bit here. A couple of missed free throws. I mean, I guess you can't expect him to maybe make every single one, but second one crawls in for Breitbach. The lead is 7. That was big, though. It makes it a 3-possession game. Frierson to Brown. No good. Carrington rebounds. He Jadambola fake. Got Newbern to run by him, and then he hits the 3. And the lead is 4 with 18 seconds. This game is not over yet.
No. And again, off the timeout, they're going to be able to set their defense again. How about Frierson that time just making a play at the basket, driving, kicking, gets Brown a wide open 3. Brown, really one of the biggest differences is his shot's been off here in the second half, but able to get the rebound. Excellent shot fake. And Jadambola knocks down the 3.
If you're Armstrong here, you want to, I mean, you have to take whoever you can get to a certain degree, but you want to get the ball in the hands of your guys that can make free throws and that are going to be sure-handed with the ball. Obviously, Breitbach would probably be the number 1 choice you'd like to get the ball to, and if not him, Bewin.
And Iniger's an excellent shooter, too, so you got to figure you're trying to get one of them, but they're going for the home run here over the top.
Breitbach for the layup, and that might do it. 6-point game, 10 seconds to go. Frierson drives, scores, and a quick timeout.
And I love Armstrong. You said it a few minutes ago, not playing to protect the lead, still in attack mode. And that's what you got to do against teams that apply pressure like that. You know that they're going for the steal, able to throw it over the top. And then you got Breitbach, he's not scared. He wasn't taking that ball out. Watch him. And look how he puts the ball out in front of him, knowing that the block is coming from behind. That was just a nice finish. And a nice job that time by Bewin, not fouling on the Frierson drive.
So 8 seconds remaining, a 4-point lead. I might have been spoken a little too soon when I said Breitbach's layup might have clinched it because Frierson came back so quickly. And a smart play too. I mean, when you're trying to come back, you always are thinking we need a 3, but a quick attack too there was good.
Now you put the pressure on the Falcons here. They got to inbound it, and if you don't get a steal right away, you got to do a quick foul. You got to try to keep this game extended as long as possible, but with 8.1 seconds left, not a lot of time.
Bewin got it into Breitbach, and they have to take the foul there. So Breitbach showing the previous time he went long for it, this time coming back to meet the ball and meet it strong and aggressively. And foul was against Brown. And There's another indication too, where you develop good habits in terms of coming to get the ball aggressively, being strong, being squared and centered, having your feet underneath you and reaching for the ball, expecting that they're going to be going after it.
Well, and the other thing too, I thought Park Center let 2 seconds tick off the clock there. I would have thought that foul would have been immediately. But yeah, to your point, getting open is a choice. When you need to get the ball, you got to get open. This is that second
1 for 2, so it's a 5-point game, but Park Center's going to run out of time. And the layup good by Frierson, but apparently the clock did not quite reach 0. 0.9 seconds remaining.
Well, if you're Park Center right now, you're hoping to steal the inbounds, and then you got to get a shot up quick, and it's got to be a 3.
Boy, and you hate to gamble, but if you're Armstrong here with 9/10 of a second to go, I'd be tempted to just throw it off the defender, because in reality, the time should then expire.
Or you inbound it in the middle there and give it to someone right in the 2-point line. You're right. What a fun game, because Armstrong, I thought, they played with some tenacity and some aggressiveness. And on the other side, Park Center, knowing they don't have their best player with them, they fought in here till the end. They didn't just quit or give it up. They've been fighting too. So I think both coaches, both teams are going to get something out of this game. And it's been entertaining to watch as well.
So Armstrong will inbound in the backcourt. They've actually added a little time back. 1.3 seconds is what it's going to show. They get it into Breitbach, and the time will expire as Armstrong pulling off the upset here. Second straight season they've handed Park Center a regular season loss here. 76-73, the final for Armstrong. So you kind of wondered if they were for real at 8-1 and had maybe played the toughest part of their schedule yet, but they're showing tonight that they can do it. Obviously, Danger not being in there hurt, but still, it's a great win for Armstrong.
It is, and I think it's a win that they can take a lot of confidence from, knowing that they're playing with one of the best teams in the state, and they didn't back down. You see those two men have a lot of respect for each other going back to their playing days. But like I said, I think both coaches take something positive out of tonight. Even though Park Center lost, they know they weren't fully assembled. And if you're Armstrong, the way this game was going, Jay, it looked like it might be a blowout towards Park Center, and they came out in the second half and fought and were aggressive. And I thought offensively they played a great game. I thought if the game was in the 70s that the winner would be Park Center, but credit the Falcons. They came to play tonight and they scored enough points. Fun to watch.
So a good win for Armstrong. Let's go down now to Allie with one of the Falcons.
Hey guys, here with Adam Buin. Adam, biggest win of the season for you guys. At halftime, down by 9 points, around 8 minutes left in the game, you guys finally tie it up. What happened from that point?
Halftime, coaches told us to keep working. We didn't play our best offensively in the first half, so we knew we were going to start hitting shots in the second half. So we just had to keep working on defense, and we just believed. That's what really helped us. We believed.
You guys tied it up, but then you held strong, right? You guys kind of kept that defensive pressure. You guys held on offense. Talk about the resiliency of your team in this game, because this was one you had to fight to the very end.
Yeah, they're a really good team. This whole season, our coaches have just been talking about keep working no matter what happens throughout. We take pride in our defense, so that was really big. We were better on the shooters in the second half, and our help defense was really good.
What do you guys think when you come up to start the game and you see that Dane Danger's not playing? What was kind of your guys' thoughts as you saw that?
It was definitely a surprise. We weren't expecting it, so obviously he's a big presence down in the post, so that helped us get into the lane, and he's a big shot blocker, but our game plan didn't change. We knew we still had to play really well and play hard on defense and make shots, which we did, so that was big.
An incredibly impressive win. 9 games in a row you guys have won. What does this win, your biggest of the season, say about your team at this point?
We're just waking the state up. Everyone was sleeping on us at the start of the season. Now 9 in a row, people know who we are, so we just got to keep it going. Next week we got a couple more tough games, so yeah.
Big upset tonight. Congratulations, Adam. Guys.
Thanks very much. As Adam scoring 20 here to lead Armstrong, and they had 4 guys in double figures tonight, so they improved to 9-1 with the victory, and Park Center will lose for the 3rd time this season as they fall to 7-3. Brown at 19 and Frierson 15 to lead the way for the Pirates. Hope you've enjoyed this one here tonight from Armstrong High School. For Ryan Iverson, Allie Mosley, and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Plymouth.